A very good morning to all of you. I would love to introduce myself. I am Dr. Swati Sharma. I'm a pathologist, and from now onwards, I will be having audible pathology for you. Nowadays, there are so many things which are audible coming up, so I just give it a thought to get the pathology audible too. What is the use? What is new? Well, now there is new every day, every time, every second, because it keeps on updating. So the pathology is new, and the thing is that why audible pathology? The question, the answer is simple. Audible pathology, just to revise, when you are just lying down, when you are walking, you can just switch it on and listen. You don't have to concentrate. You have already learned it maybe, and just recapitulating it very slowly and nicely. So just to start with, this is a random chapter just to make you know who I am and what is the use of this lecture, or what is the use of this audible pathology. And if you like it, please subscribe my channel Audible Pathology, comment it, share it, so that I could know that yes, I'm doing good for the students who are really interested in pathology, maybe as MBBS, maybe as MD candidates, and maybe those who are preparing for super specialty examinations. So let's start with the chapter that is liver. So I'll start with the normal anatomy first. The liver is being covered by a Glisson's capsule. Okay, and the 70% of the blood it receives is from the portal vein. Okay, and 30% is from the hepatic artery. It has got, when you just go in deep into the liver, the hexagonal shape of a hepatic lobule is being seen, and it has got the portal triads at the edges, the central vein in the center. So to come with, they have been divided into three zones, starting from the portal triad going towards the central vein. Okay, so you how to remember that this is from oxygenated blood coming from the hepatic artery and going to the vein, towards the vein. That is how the blood should flow. So zone 1, 2, 3. Okay. Most susceptible to ischemic damage is zone 3, since it has got the maximum deoxygenated blood. Second, most susceptible to toxin induced damage is zone 1. Why? Because the toxins are coming directly to the arteries and thus in the portal vein, which is richly supplying the liver. Then what is limiting plate? And limiting plate is a line of hepatocytes surrounding the portal tract, the cords. Okay, they are just one cell thick in adults, and in the newborns they may be like 2 cell thick. It's normal. So then we come to liver parenchyma. So they are arranged in plates lining the blood filled sinusoids. Now sinusoidal endothelial cells are fenestrated. Fenestrated means they have fenestrations. Okay, that means they have holes. To simplify it, they have in between the cells they have holes. Okay, so as to allow the passage, easy passage. Then you have sinusoidal endothelial cells lie on the sinusoidal endothelial side lie the phagocytic cells, that is the Kupffer cells. The question. Okay, within the perisinusoidal space. Okay, and then you have stellate cells or the Ito cells. They are the myofibroblasts, which are important in liver fibrosis. The question asked here is, which cell stores vitamin A in liver? Answer is Ito cell. Second question, which is the macrophage or the macrophage derived cell in liver? The answer is Kupffer cells. Then we go to hepatic fibrosis or cirrhosis. Hepatic fibrosis or cirrhosis is due to collagen type 1 and type 3 both. Okay, so this is third question. Which type of collagen leads to hepatic fibrosis? It is 1 and 3, produced by the cells which are producing the fibers, that is Ito or the stellate cells. Okay, then Okay, then we come to patterns of liver necrosis. The first one is a focal necrosis. Focal necrosis means there are some of the cells which are like in the cluster of the cells there is necrosis. Since necrosis is there, so the cells to take up that necrosis will definitely be there. So which are the cells which are phagocytic in activity and present in liver? Yes, they are Kupffer cell. So one thing definitely you are going to see are those Kupffer cells. Hyperplasia. Second thing, the cells which had already died. So these are the cells known as Councilman bodies. Now we will have in detail the Councilman bodies later, but they are example of apoptotic bodies which are seen. Example in viral hepatitis. So this is focal, anywhere randomly the necrosis has occurred. Now we are coming to the zonal necrosis. A necrosis which has occurred in a particular zone of the hepatic lobule. Okay, so if I say centrilobular, that means centrizonal necrosis. So how to remember that? It is C for C. Okay, so C for C means centrilobular or centrizonal is around the third, that is third, Z3. So C for C, so it is centrizonal centrilobular necrosis seen in cardiac failure. You have chloroform toxicity, and then you have viral hepatitis and carbon tetrachloride toxicity. Okay, then you have the causes are very important, right? Then you have the mid zone, that is Z2. Z2, the mid zone, a very unique yellow fever. Just remember one yellow fever in between. Okay, like going towards the portal tract. So periportal, that means around the portal tract. The causes are for P, preeclampsia and phosphorus toxicity. So it is preeclampsia and phosphorus toxicity for P for P. Okay, so preeclampsia, phosphorus and periportal, and C for C here. Like carbon tetrachloride, it is chloroform, it is cardiac failure seen in centrizonal. Okay. Now, a very fascinating word for most of the students who are studying pathology, piecemeal necrosis. One everyone afraid of, question repeatedly being asked. So let's come to this once, because we are dealing with necrosis. Piecemeal necrosis, also known as toxic hepatitis or nibbling necrosis, interface necrosis. Three names for one disease. Piecemeal necrosis has got synonyms, that is toxic hepatitis, nibbling necrosis, interface hepatitis. Okay, what is it now? It is the loss and degeneration of limiting plate hepatocytes. Recap. What was limiting plate? One layer thick hepatocyte layer around the portal tract, limiting plate. Okay, so that goes off. That is piecemeal necrosis. Okay, so it produces a moth-eaten, very irregular appearance. Okay, so that is piecemeal. Okay, in small pieces, you can say. So then, since something which is damaging have to be most of the cases associated with inflammation, and to remember this, liver has, you cannot see too much of inflammation having neutrophils in liver. So whenever inflammation you think of in liver, think of lymphocytes, plasma cells and macrophages. Here also lymphocytic infiltrate, resulting into the destruction of hepatocytes. Okay, now piecemeal necrosis, where it is seen. Three conditions. Just piecemeal necrosis, that means the inflammation is there. That is why the limiting plate getting damaged. Causes inflammation, when you think, the first thing, hepatitis. Go for hepatitis. Whether it is viral hepatitis, whether it's steatohepatitis, or whether it is autoimmune hepatitis. Okay, so three things you just remember: viral hepatitis, steatohepatitis, and autoimmune hepatitis. Okay, so I think I'll conclude this very small short note on liver till piecemeal necrosis. I'll upload it, and I'll just would love to hear back from you all, so as to know whether I am able to tell you something, am I able to pass on my knowledge, pass on my pathology to you. So I would just love to hear from you. So thank you for hearing this. Next part will be uploading soon. Thank you.